The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 31st. Woo! It's Wednesday. Where was I? It's Wednesday, the 31st day and final day of March 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zul. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you're watching online, share the link. If you're on Facebook, start a watch party. If you're on Twitter, retweet it. If you're watching on channel 82 or listening on the full 100 radio station, call someone, let them know we're on. Just get the conversation out there to your network. And don't forget to like and engage with us. Another good one today as we end the month and the short week with Weldon Wade. We're going to be discussing ocean conservation. And you all know me, my relationship with the ocean. I'm married to a mermaid, so it causes some friction there. The Daily Play is a...
Say it, don't sing it.
So Carla is guessing the lyrics to a famous song. When I say it is one of the all-time classic hits today that I just know, put it this way here, it's as easy as last week's, but I think we have a stunt. Remember last week's was That's What Friends Are For, right?
Right, but remember, for those of you first tuning in or tuning in for the first time, I am rhythmic. So because when he says it, I can't figure it out. But as soon as he puts a little beat with it, I kill it.
But you got it last week without a beat.
It depends on how obvious it is.
Okay. Well, all right, folks. Well, let's get to it. Bermuda. So let me tell you a little story about the Bermuda national team. Last week, I was able to watch the game. And obviously, I guess because it was Canada they were playing against, it was easier to get access here in North America. Well, this week, everyone that I saw on Twitter and Facebook talking about the BFA is showing it on their Facebook page. Now, either the BFA has limited what I can see on their Facebook page, which wouldn't surprise me, you know. In my jurisdiction where I live, I was unable to view it. So my feelings were a bit hurt that I was able to, you know how it goes, Carla, blow my air horn. Where's my air horn? Where's my air horn? You know, I weren't able to blow my air horn last night, and apparently I missed 5 goals. But thanks to Burmemes, I was able to watch the goals after. Looks like Kane Critchlow he was on a double.
Little cousin.
Yep. Look at her trying to claim people. Does the brother know your name? Does he know you exist?
Yes. I'm sure he does.
Well, he calls you great aunt.
No, Carla? I don't know him personally, but me and his parents are cool.
So y'all like those people that be like,
no, he's my legit cousin.
But you said you don't know if he knows you.
Yeah, because he's young, girl.
So you're old and he's young. So your cousin who scored for Bermuda doesn't know you.
Hey, I'm sure he knows the name, but his mother, hi Suzette, his daddy, hi Craig. That's my family.
She dropping names, folks. All right, so Carla's cousin who don't know her scored a double or scored a goal or two for Bermuda.
And keep going.
What? Oh, you got another?
Nori Scott. That's no his Nori Scott, his Nana and your brother and sister.
So does
congrats, Nori. Of course he knows Aunt Carla. Okay. That's my boo.
Is Aunt Carla or great Aunt Carla? Which one?
He calls me Aunt Carla.
Okay.
Congrats to everybody. I think the young man, Jalen Batha, I saw it on Twitter. right? Congrats. I used to play softball with his dad. He's not like a real cloak chaser, you know.
I mean, she dropping names, but I mean,
Hi, Jose.
you know what I'm saying? Like Carla, good grief. But congrats to all of Carla's cousins who don't know her. And see, Elizabeth.
Look at my cousin. This is my first cousin. She's
Elizabeth
commented.
said it was limited by region, so that's why they blocked me out. So I wonder if you would have been able to see it. Somebody jumping in on Carla's side. Donna Smith says your grandmother and his great grandmother or sister. So hold on. You're claiming cousins that are like 20th down the line. That's what
Donna's my first cousin. She nasty deal. Thank you. Morning.
All right. So Carla's claiming family. So basically, Carla's family won the Bermuda game for us yesterday, folks. And so all props to that bloodline. All props to the bloodline. If it weren't for the bloodline, we wouldn't be where we are. So congrats to cousin Carlos and Collisons and whatever, you know. But anyway, who saw the game? What do you all think about yesterday's game outside of Carla's family reunion?
Stupid. I did see a lot of people tweeting about it seemed like the Bermuda team were really communicating and they could hear all the Bermudian coaches and the teams talking, but they couldn't hear Aruba. So that was good.
What we need to hear Aruba for?
I don't know, but still, well, because team sports, but do you play sports? Are you as a coach? Didn't you shout at your kids?
No.
Did he laugh? Oh, really? As a coach? Not shout at them, but I'm sure you said,
I trained them in practice, and then they knew what to do in the game. That's why we won it all. Yeah. Now I remember my former boss Glenn Blakeney saying, "No, coaches, you don't say much during the game. You instruct them and you just let them play it out." I'm like, "Okay, boss." But no, it's great to see Bermuda bounce back from defeat last week, and I think they can finish strong in this group. It just reminds me of 1992 around that time when Gary Darrell's team, that was probably one of the most exciting Bermuda teams that I remember following back then. So it has that same level of excitement. Would love to see how the coaches bring in usher in younger players now, like a Johnny Burchell, good to see Kane Critchlow get in there. But yeah, it's exciting times for Bermuda's national team. Got to move on. Don't forget, we have Weldon Wade coming on. This week's Good Friday, Carla. This week's Good Friday. And is this week referred to as Holy Week? Is this Holy Week?
You're asking me? I have no idea.
What's Holy Week? I'm sorry. You're a bigger heathen than me, aren't you? Running close. Well, I think it might be. I think Palm Sunday was on Sunday, and then Good Friday on Friday, obviously, and then Easter Sunday. That said, growing up in Bermuda, I didn't realize how differently we celebrated things. I'll use Good Friday, for instance. People see, look, somebody who's not a heathen like us says, yes, it's Holy Week. All right. So I guess my question to people is, what's your favorite pastime of Good Friday? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've made a kite with my daddy probably once in my life, and I don't remember anything. So I probably would have my Bermudian card taken from me in that respect. Marbles pretty much weren't my thing. I didn't have aim and don't have the patience to play that. So I'm going to go with my favorite pastime was sitting on my backside and eating fish cakes on hot cross buns. How about you?
Mine's was, well, of course, anything to do with family was always fun. And then as I got older, I would always make a point to go to the Farbits house, Thea, Stacey, and Rika, because they had a big gathering and we'd play marbles and we get skunked and skunk people, for those of us that are old enough to remember that term. I've never really been into kites, never really. But it's just a time for family and loved ones.
But you got us in trouble, Carla, because I rely on you. At least I kind of knew it. Charles H. Jefferson II says, "Is this Holy Week? Lord, please help me." I thought it was, Charles, and she said, "Oh, I don't know. You're asking me." At least I was like, hold up, Palm Sunday and then Good Friday. I had an idea. Carla, on the other hand, yeah, that bus. Oh boy. Elizabeth's favorite pastime is flying kites. Well, yeah, I didn't even mention the flying kites part. Speaking of flying kites, I saw that video from last year of the people at the park. It popped up on memories on Facebook. That was quite the entertaining video of that. If there were awards for entertaining videos in Bermuda, that would definitely be one. You're
I
not
have no idea what you're talking about.
Mr. Thompson from yeah.
Oh,
All right, so let's move on. Dr. Seaman says our most celebrated week. So, what's your favorite part about the week, Dr. Seaman? Is it going to church? Is it like me eating fish cakes and hot cross buns? By the way, I have to ask this question because we're sitting in a room. Yes, we're in a room together, Carla, with a person who eats raisins
raisins.
in their cornbread. So, the question of the morning to you all, we're going to have some fun today. Raisins in or raisins out of your hot cross buns?
In.
Okay. Stacy Grant says testing everyone's fish cakes and buns. Yeah, that's me. No, I don't just eat from anybody. But yeah, I'm with you. Making and flying kites is his favorite pastime. That's James Birch. Bobby Singh says, haha, I'm with you, Carl. I just learned it was Good Friday this week. You all are just going.
I'm not that big a Bobby.
You're going straight there. Teresa says, my first Good Friday in Atlanta, I was shocked. No hummers in the hood, no kids playing marbles. My aunt used to do gatherings for Bermudians in Atlanta to give us a sense of home. I love that. Lavette Pemberton also says, family fun food. Raisins in. It looks like everyone's raisins in. Look, raisins in. Definitely in. So it looks like a lot of people here. Well, James Birch says either way for raisins. Raisins in for sure. I don't think we've come across a raisins out person yet. Oh, here we go. Charmaine Nolan says raisins out.
Sad.
Dr. Seaman says, as a mom, making fish cakes is her favorite pastime. Well, I got to try one of those fish cakes, Dr. Seaman. Got to see if, you have that heavenly hand, right? Carla John, you caught that, right? You caught that. Carla John says, half and half because my son hates raisins. Okay, so you're choosing a position of neutrality. You're pleasing everybody. I get that. I'm gonna take. Do you know Whole Foods and hot cross buns? I've been there, and they have is it cranberries in them or something like that?
Like out here in the UK, they have mixed peel, like not mixed peel, some sort of fruit, sultan. But this year, my daughter's making them for me. So, and I'll do the fish cakes. And she doesn't like fish, but I'll eat them all. So, yes.
Eat them all. What, your sons don't eat?
They don't like fish cakes. I think that's one of the things, unfortunately, bringing them out here as young. They've lost some of the Bermudian things that they liked. I'm like, have a fish cake. So I just make them and eat them all. It's okay.
Wow. I mean, okay.
More for me.
You know what, Carla? I'm going to say it. Look, if they don't appreciate good fish cakes, girl, your belly better be busting. It better be busting. Philip Trott, it's not hot cross buns without raisins. Jamal causing division. Well, I agree with you. I mean, to be fair, it looks like it's 99% in from the audience this morning. Kathy Bromby taught my children to make kites. My friend Kath made the best buns, and I made rock cakes. Oh,
you had to go work academy to know what rock cakes are.
I was just going to say, what are the rock cakes?
The farmer, they're almost like scones. They're almost like, did Miss Gray teach you too, Kathy? Yeah.
What's this? A work academy class?
That's a fun work academy moment, actually. That gave me blue and blue heebie-jeebies. I don't get them often, but that brought back a memory.
How old are you? My goodness, Elizabeth says definitely hot cross buns without are just spiced rolled rolls, spiced burger rolls. Look, folks, I'm rich. Lindsay, Carla.
Telling my dad what color kite I wanted, seeing the living room full of tissue paper scraps, going to Naval Field to watch Cambridge beaches, and the reefs fly the giant kites that my dad helped make. Nice.
Yeah, I only eat raisins on Good Friday, says Dr. Seaman. I mean, I'm gonna leave it alone, Dr. Seaman.
That's unique.
Only eat. Well, I mean, in fairness, I'm only for St. George's 2 days of the year. I don't know if that's a great comparison, but yeah. Janae Pereira and Edna says it's out for me. So we have about 2 or 3 people that are.
Janae, that's rude.
Yeah. I mean, Robert Durham says, if I had a choice, it would be raisins out. So we're getting some outs. I think it's a great balance. Did Philip go to work academy?
I didn't know that either. Go ahead, Philip.
Miss Coakley and the rock cakes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Phil did go to work. Man, it's a lot of you all, huh? We're gonna have to.
He went to the private school though. I went to the public school. It's a difference. We as
Oh,
rebels.
I'll let him answer that for you. Amanda Kelly says America does not celebrate like Bermuda, and Friday is a normal work day. I've died yearly. I miss Bermuda. Yeah, I'm taking it off. We're taking it off. Shanna Smith, my dad hates codfish, so he makes his fish cakes with fresh Bermuda fish. You know what's crazy? You know, the first person I know that actually said that was Delvin. I think he owns Lost in the Triangle. I think he was the first one I actually heard say, speak about making fish cakes with Bermuda fish. And I've never tasted them. So if anybody, when I'm back in Bermuda, if anybody knows of someone, hint, got to drop them like Carla. If anyone knows of someone that uses Bermuda fish to make their fish cakes, hit your boy up. I want to sample them and then come on the Daily Hour and talk about hopefully how great they were. Well, I mean, if they're not good, I got to tell them.
Yeah, people all nervous now.
Well, no, I don't want to. If they're not good, I can't lie to the audience, Carl. I can't lie to the audience. If your food's not good, we're going to come on here and tell the people your food's not good. That's what they want from us, right? They want us at honesty and credibility, right? So so if you want to volunteer to make fish cakes with Bermuda fish and invite me to taste test for you all, then I'll be happy to do so. And no pressure, no pressure at all. No pressure at all. Teresa says, one thing, I took Good Friday off when I worked in Atlanta. Oh, it's a must. It's a must. It's a must. Lavette Pemberton is a fan of Bermuda fish, so this is a great thing. Another Raisins Oat person, Carla.
Rundell, how rude.
Yeah, Dawn says, my mom makes hash cakes as well as fish cakes for the non-fish cake. What's hash cakes with the corned beef?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Kiki and I my daughter and I were talking about that just yesterday. We were talking about corned beef, actually. Another memory. I need to come home. I really do.
Oh, well. Charles H. Jeffers, Shanna, is your dad Bermudian? I've never heard of Charles, honestly, I know quite a few after Delvin that do that. Pastor Dean Smith is her father, yes. So tell Pastor Dean we would love to roll up on him, Carla and I, for some Bermuda fish cakes, if that's not it's just two of us. I mean, I'll take 3, Carla will take 1, and we'll have some hot cross buns with raisins in to go with that, right? What are you laughing at?
Because you're so joyful as you talk about food, and I'm just here tasting it all. Like, I am here for it.
You see me, like, look, I'm being grateful that the better half actually appreciates the culture Bermuda has. So she loves to make fish cakes and hot cross buns this time of year. So really looking forward to it. I can't complain. Like it's I just wish that we what's the word I'm looking for? No, it's not bad. I wish that we didn't look at fish cakes as just this one time a year thing, like in Jamaica, bun and cheese. Like I am a big fan. I don't eat much.
We share the same brain, because I was gonna say to you, do you eat them only during that time of year? Because I have them about 2 or 3 times a year. It doesn't have to be Good Friday to have a fish cake.
I used to go down to Graff's sometimes and get a fish cake from the Graff's just because I was like, I want like a normal fish cake. Like, why do I have to wait for Good Friday? So no, I really enjoyed it. But honestly, I loved Good Friday growing up in Bermuda. It was a time that we got with my family. I think we still rotate between my uncles. We got together. It was almost like, whether you agree with Christmas or celebrate it, I think Carla says it all the time. It's about family, like spending time with family. And I came up in a pretty close-knit family, so I do miss the what we used to celebrate as far as Good Friday and Easter, just Holy Week in general. So my words to everyone is don't eat as much as I normally would, but have some fun. It's a great holiday to observe. We're going to go to the news break with Carla. Then we have the movement moment with Tamara. Then we'll have a commercial break and come back with Weldon Wade. I'm going to enjoy this conversation. I'm letting you know already. Ocean conservation. We're surrounded by water in Bermuda. So it's one of those conversations we all should be interested in. We should all enjoy. And, he's probably going to tell us about ourselves, because I'm thinking we're going to probably talk about lionfish cakes. I'm sure he wouldn't mind you all using lionfish for your fish cakes. I'm not saying it's going to taste good. I didn't say that.
Apparently, it's a really good fish.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Although they're dangerous, they say they taste delicious.
Well, I guess I'll have to try lionfish when we get back too. Any takers who wants to cook it for us? Carla, over to you.
Around 2:45 yesterday, a firearm incident occurred near Summers Garden in St. George's. A 22-year-old Pembroke man was shot multiple times about his body. Apparently, he was working in the area at the time he was shot. The 22-year-old was transported by private vehicle to King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, where he was receiving treatment for his injuries, which at the time of reporting were not believed to be life-threatening. The suspects are described as two men on a dark-colored motorcycle without a license plate. The rider was wearing a white helmet, while the passenger was described as light brown complexion with a thick mustache, wearing a black helmet and a colorful jacket. Individuals fitting the description of the two suspects were seen leaving St. George's on a motorcycle and pursued by police. However, officers lost sight of them in the Painters Road, Harrington Sound area, and efforts to locate the two suspects continue. The Bermuda Police Service is treating this shooting as a gang-related incident. The Bunsen burner was invented in 1854 out of the need for a cleaner, hotter flame that could be used in laboratory experiments. In 1852, the University of Heidelberg had hired Robert Bunsen and promised to build him a brand new laboratory, complete with the newest technological marvel, coal gas streetlights, and lighting that the city itself had just begun to install. Bunsen Burner Day is best celebrated by the layman by researching the life and times of Robert Bunsen and all of the contributions he has made to the world. You can start by looking up the design of the Bunsen burner and how the introduction of so simple a device helped to revolutionize the way that laboratory experiments were done. Turning to weather, the temperature in Bermuda is expected to reach a high of 71. Atlanta, Georgia will see a high of 72, and Nottingham, UK, a high of 69. And don't forget, our resident island boy who doesn't like water is being held hostage, but only until April 10th. Shall we save him or shall we sink him? Yes, I'm talking about Jamal, and I think we should sink him. You decide, but either way, let's contribute to a good cause and participate in the annual Bermuda Sloop Foundation's fundraising event, Pirates of Bermuda. Visit www.bermudasloop.org for further details. That's your Daily Hour news break.
As I said yesterday, save me, folks. You know I don't do water. I don't do water. We're going to have the movement moment. Before we go there, Kathy Brumby says, all these requests, Jamal, you need a private chef. No, I eat raisins with it, and I have no problem with codfish. I just want to try the Bermuda fish and the fish. Maria Sofiana says, morning, I had lionfish ceviche at Wahoo's a few years ago. Delicious. And Alshia Janelle Logo says, going St. David's, hanging with family and friends, and of course, watching the Mohawk Grand Prix. That is awesome. Probably one of the greatest moments in Good Friday history. We're going to check the movement moment. Stick with us. We'll have Weldon Wade one after that. And yeah, stick with us. Don't go anywhere because we have a doozy for Carla in the Daily Play too.
This movement moment brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Together, we can illuminate your path to wellness.
Welcome to today's movement moment with Tamara Donnell, brought to you by People's. Tamara, what are we discussing today?
Hello, Jamal. Today we are discussing quite a big word with quite a big impact on your body. Homeostasis. What is it and where can I get some of that? So homeostasis, quite simply put, is your body's ability, actually not just your body, many systems have homeostasis, but in the context of your body's ability to regulate and control its systems and functions to maintain balance. So for example, when you feel hot, your body sweats. When you feel cold, your body makes other changes to keep you warm. When you feel pain from a certain stimulus, you get a response to, withdraw from that stimulus and remove the pain. So these are just some really simple examples of how your body seeks to maintain homeostasis. Why is homeostasis important? Well, it's very important that our system maintains balance and control, particularly as we age, because that's a good sign that you are healthy, that you are disease-free, and that things are operating optimally.
One of the things that you mentioned as we got older, bodies. Let's talk about the danger of normalizing pain and discomfort. I know that as let's say someone hasn't worked out in a while, and then they go and work out and they're in pain for like the next day or two. That could be something that, comes with the territory. But what are some times when we should say, no, this is abnormal? We should get this checked out.
Right. So yes, we have as a society normalized pain. We've normalized that sort of low grade, not feeling right. We've normalized just taking a quick fix as opposed to working to get to the root of a problem. So any level of pain that's out of the norm, I would say you should be concerned with. But being concerned with it doesn't mean that you immediately run to your doctor. It just means you tune in, you take note, and you keep a close watch on that pain. If you just had a very, very hard workout or perhaps a new set of muscles for the week, you're going to experience some level of stiffness. But if you've been doing the same workouts and all of a sudden you have a new acute pain, then that's something you need to definitely pay attention to.
But that's important to mention when it comes to not normalizing pain, is if you feel something that you haven't worked out a certain area, or you have no idea why you might feel pain here, monitor it. We're not saying run to the emergency room or necessarily call the doctor, but monitor it. And if you still feel that pain, then go get it checked out. I would definitely, that's the information I receive from doctors, because I'm known as an individual who loves to run to the doctor if I feel something wrong.
Thank you for tuning into this movement moment. To enjoy the benefits of the full episode, check us at Instagram at MVMT with Tamara Donnell or at People's BDA.
Right. Thanks again to Tamara for another informative one. Don't forget, check them the full segment out on at People's BDA or at MVMT with Tamara Donnell. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Weldon Wade. This is going to be a good conversation. I just know it. Carla, put your armbands on. We're going in the ocean.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
We're introducing an exciting new line of all-natural cleansing products from Dr. Jacobs Naturals, brought to our shores by Premier Distributors Limited. Dr. Jacobs Naturals is a family business who have directly experienced the special needs of those with extra sensitive skin. Their response? To research and incorporate the methods of Swiss chemist Dr. Jacobs, who perfected the traditional production of Castile soaps, and then dial in the perfect pure organic ingredients and their proportions for a wondrously soothing cleansing experience. Find it at Lindo's Devonshire this month. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and our friends over at Channel 82, where you can also watch this and many other locally produced shows if you have One Communications cable. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. You've seen him in many pictures. Looks like what's this? The lobsters, right? I saw this picture with him in lobsters, and you all know me, and we've spoken about this before, so there's no need to laugh again. Like, seriously, don't laugh at me for what I'm about to say.
He's never eaten lobster.
No, I'd eat a lobster every chance. But remember, when I go fishing, I always have someone there that can take the fish off the hook for me. And so when I saw the brother in the picture holding the lobsters, I'm like, I don't know about this one, bro. So, but without further ado, let's bring in this courageous gentleman.
Baby.
Whatever. You can say what you want. Here we go. Weldon Wade, welcome to the show, sir.
Wow.
Hi, Weldon.
Good morning Jamal, good morning. Carla, good morning. The Daily Hour. Shout out to your viewership. Shout out to everyone across the planet locked in. This morning, we're covered Bunsen burners, fish cakes with or without raisins. We're sinking Jamal. Shout out to the Bermuda Sloop Foundation. I've participated in that before. It is an amazing cause. But yeah, it's a privilege and an honor to finally get on deck with you guys. So let's go.
Real quick, were you real quick? Did you sink or swim when you did it?
So that's a really good question. I showed up in my wetsuit in full scuba regalia, ready to jump regardless of what the outcome was, because I never logged a dive in Hamilton Harbor. Been diving all around the island and I haven't logged a dive in Hamilton Harbor. So I said, okay, cool, let's go. So I had my lionfish spear. I had a stuffed lionfish spike who's behind me on my bookshelf. So we were there to promote diving, ocean advocacy and conservation, and lionfish awareness. So I was ready to go. So yeah, as one would expect, showing up in full dive regalia for the Bermuda Sloop Foundation on that day. So it was pretty good.
So did you go in the water? Or?
Yeah, full jump, giant stride off the plank. Splash, and I have my 5 mil suit on, and it was good. It was
no lionfish in the harbor, huh?
Pretty murky. I didn't really have a chance to look around. Not too much bottom time for you divers out there, but it was good. It was good.
I was only asking because Jamal will have on armbands when he jumps, so I was trying to see how.
Wouldn't be the only one, and if need be, I'm happy to be safety diver on the day, and in case things go wrong,
Thankfully, I'll be saved, and if I'm not saved, there'll be a pool I'll be going into, and so I can see the bottom and make sure there's no fish in there to take care of me that day. But
indeed.
So thank you for coming by. We have so much to discuss around ocean conservation. I mean, Bermuda is surrounded by water, and in truth, at least from my experience, I don't think I became. And I'm still not educated on the ocean, but it wasn't until I started working in tourism when I would actually take guests to the Bermuda Underwater Exploration Institute that I started to learn things, right? But we'll get into all of that. Hopefully we have enough time, but if not, we're okay if we run out of time, because that just means we bring you back.
Okay.
All right. So you founded an ocean advocacy organization 10 years ago called Guardians of the Reef. What's the purpose of this organization and how did it come about?
All right. Real quick before jumping into that, I do still serve on the board of directors at BUEI. It's been years now. It's been a privilege and an honor to serve. So shout out to all of the wonderful people at BUEI and all of our programs. So pop by there if you haven't in a while. If you haven't been by there in a while, go check it out, please. So yeah, I've been diving for over a decade. I started here in Bermuda. It was a bucket list item for me to tick off before moving from Bermuda to Toronto, which I did do. But scuba diving for me was really by chance. I mean, I've been in the ocean my whole life. We can go back to just swimming in Mullet Bay back in the day before it was kind of littered with boats. But I'd swim in Mullet Bay and enjoy, it's fun on the beach with my family. But it wasn't until scuba diving with Blue Water Divers up at Somerset Bridge, shout out to Chris Gauntlet and the staff and operators and crew up there, did a dive up there. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Why am I just getting into this? The ocean is a really, really beautiful place. Mm-hmm. Granted, you go for a swim on the beach, the rocks get, they're dark and jagged and sharp and they're wet and they kind of look a bit ominous, but it's really the life that's under the ocean that's really, really phenomenal and beautiful. So it was a leap of faith. There was a bit of fear, doing that first dive. But once I got down to the bottom and I'm scooping up the thick pink sand and putting white fish or swimming around trying to find the little critters in the sand to eat, I fell in love. It was pretty much love at first sight, if you don't mind. And from that point, I decided to try to find other people in this space that looked like me, that thought how I thought to rally around getting more divers into the ocean. And it was really that cumulation. It's really one of the grassiest grassroots movements in getting more Bermudians diving, is just getting the youth and other Bermudians involved and creating purposeful diving events to really encourage people to dive. So I did get certified, That's one step. Do a try dive, and then you get certified as a scuba diver. And then I started to craft events around within the community around diving. Granted, I promote diversity in the space, so don't just scuba dive. You can free dive, you can snorkel, you can swim. And we talked about lobsters. You cannot hunt lobsters in Bermuda on scuba. And there are rules and regulations and a permit around that. So Bermuda's got some really, really good conservation laws and rules and regulations in place to help protect our wildlife. 2 lobsters per licensed diver per day. But the ocean is also under threat. The ocean does a lot for us. It provides food. It provides shelter for our shoreside houses by way of the reef protecting us from storm surge. It's so much. That's why I started Guardians.
You mentioned something though, because I don't know the answer, and I'm not just asking for the audience. I'm going to be clear. What's the difference between scuba diving and free diving? Obviously, I know the difference between snorkeling, but just speak to that, just so we have an understanding.
Oh, sure. And I want to start off by saying to your viewership that some of my most memorable ocean experiences have been while I've been on the surface. So I don't want to have your viewership believe like, okay, you got to dive deep. You have to hold your breath for 4 minutes. You need a bunch of scuba, apparatus on your back to have wonderful experiences. And this is timely because whether you're here or not, you should know Bermuda does have a migratory humpback whale season, which we're in right now. And what accompanies the humpbacks are dolphins. And so, in order, if you're on a private boat and you respect the whales and they happen to come to your private boat, you may have the opportunity to slip into the ocean and come face to face with a whale, and you'll be doing that at the surface, right? And so, yeah, that just speaks to an opportunity that in the recent past, quite a few of my friends, myself included, have been able to indulge in. And yeah, we've had some phenomenal weather, you guys, which has laid the seed on real nice on South Shore, which has brought about the opportunities for people to have that life-changing experience. But essentially, free diving it's a very minimalist way to dive. You've got your mask, your fins, your snorkel, as you would have when you're snorkeling. But with free diving, you'll also have a weight belt, and you'll take a deep breath, and you'll do your duck dive, and you'll submerge. You don't have to necessarily go deep, but it's sort of the weight belt and the breath hold and breaking the surface of the ocean and descending to a reasonable depth that would sort of say, okay, well, you're free diving. Scuba, of course, you've got the apparatus. You've got the tank. Yeah, you've got your BC, you've got your regulators, and you're breathing off of your life support system, of compressed air and all this regalia you've got all around you. So you can get down and you can stay down, whereas free diving, you're pretty much going to stay down as long as you can hold your breath. And that's a whole discipline in of itself. And I do pretty much all disciplines. I do the scuba, I do free diving, I enjoy snorkeling, and I also do, rarely, but I do the closed circuit rebreather diving, which is essentially, what astronauts use to breathe in space, but underwater. It recycles your air, and we don't have, that's a whole nother talk.
No, honestly, bro, I'm being educated. I mean, as I stated, all jokes aside, I've just never been a fan of the water. I think
Understood.
Beautiful, but and I can be honest, this is a safe space. I had a fear of the water when I was young. I did. I had a fear. There was like, I learned how to doggy paddle very young, but didn't really learn how to swim until I was probably like 11 and 12, and that's late for Bermudians, right?
Yeah. Look, it can be. Shout out to Work Academy, class of 95. Yeah, another one. I wasn't the wickedest swimmer, in school, and you had the elite swimmers that were, do that thing, and I'm kind of there with the foam board, doing
That's
my thing.
me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'm not a lid, but so I mean, I hadn't had an affinity for the ocean. I think certainly until I did that first dive. Some of you out there, it's really that first interaction. And granted, depending on the situation, sometimes that first experience could be negative. If you're on a dive boat here or anywhere in the world and it's crowded and there's fumes and it's rocky and it's swelly and you get nauseous and seasick, maybe that first experience might dissuade you from pursuing the sport or form of recreation. But I would say to you guys out there that if your first experience getting in the water, whether it's snorkeling or scuba diving, has been where the environment wasn't the most conducive for you, give it another shot. Find an instructor that can be with you one-on-one or two-on-one, and not be in a crowded environment on a rocky boat with swell and nausea and whatnot, because that can definitely turn you off. It's a beautiful place. And like you said, Jamal, Bermuda, we're surrounded by it. But there's a lot of island nations, to our south that are surrounded by the ocean too. And you just find that a lot of times those people that live on these, oceanfront communities or these islands don't actually dabble in the ocean space at all. Whether it's the diving and enjoying it recreationally, or participating in or having the opportunity to participate in the blue economy, which is something we'll speak on in a few minutes.
So, Weldon, I watched the travel and leisure video that you star in essence. I watched that last night. It was awesome. And one of the things that you said was that the wellness of the ocean ties into the wellness of us as people. Now, so many people are intimidated by the water for different reasons. But why is the water? Can you explain why the ocean is important to our well-being?
I look at the ocean like this, and it's interesting because we talked about Work Academy, and I think it's important to note that I'm very active in the ocean space, but I didn't go to college or university after I graduated in 1995. And for many people out there that may see my name and hear my voice and see my face, they think of me as like the IT guy, the computer guy, the computer fix-it guy. I didn't go to school for any of that stuff. I'm pretty much self-taught, and in both of those, and in the IT side of things, and in this ocean space. And part of the genesis of Guardians of the Reef, and it's in the name. The ocean, the health of the ocean is very important. And from a citizen scientist side of things, it's about recognizing threats to the ocean. Whether it's plastic pollution, overfishing, invasive species, ocean acidification, sea level rise, different coral diseases, and any threat to pollution. Goodness, the list goes on and on. But I look at ocean health and human health as being intimately connected. And the ocean, it's vast. And I think at one point we thought we could do anything to the ocean, anything to the critters that are in the ocean, and it's so resilient, it'll bounce back and everything will be fine. What we're learning right now is, it's one big blue planet. The ocean's connected. If I'm in the Bahamas and I throw a plastic bottle into the ocean, that will get caught in the Gulf Stream and float right up and wash up on one of the beaches up at Daniel's Head, right? It's we're so interconnected. And as the ocean experiences threats and gets sick, we're consuming fish from the sea. We're consuming we touched on lobsters. We're consuming stuff from the sea, and that can lead to our unwellness. But as the reef dies, which we don't want that to happen. The reef that surrounds Bermuda is very important for many, many, many reasons. So it's a much deeper and wider conversation, Carla. But I that's how I look at it. I look at ocean health and human health as being super connected. No,
seriously, I'm learning. We've never met, but you're an inspiration already, simply just from your story, saying, look, you didn't go away to study any of this. So you kind of, this is good stuff, man. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. I want to say, haven't been alone. I recommend everybody out there, regardless of what you're into, find a mentor, find a coach, and that's the space I'm shifting into here in the ocean space. I don't catch the most lionfish here. I don't dive the deepest here. I don't hold my breath the longest. But over the past decade plus, I've learned a lot, done a lot of traveling around the region. And if you want to get into diving or marine biology or ocean conservation and advocacy, I'm more than happy to help coach and or mentor you, whether you're young, old, whatnot, in the space, because it's a lot like any other sport. It's a lot of things that can get in your way of being successful. So that's what's up. But it's a lot. Go ahead, Carla. Sorry,
2 questions, but one really brief answer for the first one, right?
Sure.
You talked about being in the paddleboard crew at Work Academy, right? Do you have to be a swimmer in order to be a diver? Before you answer that, but that's a brief answer. But the second one is, you talked about the blue economy, and there's currently a consultation going on. Can you, after you answer the first one, talk about the blue economy and this consultation and what's that about?
Sure. I would say that, yeah, it definitely helps to be a reasonable swimmer before you dabble into, snorkeling, free diving, and scuba diving. Certainly with any course that you might take with any instructor, and that's any instructor anywhere. Shout out to James Adams, who's a free diver instructor here, and shout out to all the scuba instructors on the island. But yeah, you will have to take a bit of a swim test. The instructor wants to know that you can at least kind of cover some ground and be comfortable in the water. But I do some snorkeling right now with some beautiful people that are, not the best swimmers, but they're getting stronger every time we go out, and it's nice. It's very nice to get people, keep people motivated and incentivized to get in and put your eyes underwater. That's the key. Put on a mask, put your eyes underwater, and see what's under there, because it's a beautiful place. But I'm happy to go into your second question.
So the blue economy.
Yeah, the blue economy. And the blue economy pretty much encompasses the blue space, the ocean space, whether that's sustainable fisheries, ocean renewable energy. And so just to switch gears real quick, what I do right now is I'm the communications coordinator for a program that I hope you've heard of, but you may not have. It's called the Bermuda Ocean Prosperity Program. So about June 5th of 2019, the Bermuda government, in collaboration with the Wade Institute and the Bermuda Institute of Ocean Sciences, signed an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, to help promote the blue economy and figure and sort out 3 different pillars of work and protect 20% of Bermuda's EEZ. So right now we've been going through for quite some time, public consultation process, lots of stakeholder engagement, and we've been very busy on the ground here working with all of our partners and stakeholders to bring this to fruition. So that's sort of what I do on a full-time basis. And then outside of my work with the Ocean Prosperity Program will be the Guardians of the Reef ocean advocacy work, and everything else that I do around here, which is quite a lot, quite a few hats, serving on different boards, doing things such as this, going online and podcasts and stuff like that to help get the word out. So yeah, we've got 3 program goals, and I'm happy to do a deeper dive into Bob. But we want a thriving blue economy, like we said before, and do marine spatial planning to establish this marine protected area, which we don't know what that looks like. And then help promote sustainable fisheries. So there's much more information on BermudaOceanProsperity.org. You can go to my website, weldonwade.com/hello, and you'll see something pop up that'll kind of point you in all these different directions. The ocean conservation side, the BOP stuff, the Guardian stuff, and different articles and different things that I've done over the past while. It's been a busy time, very busy in this space. Yeah.
So real quickly, question from Kathy Brumby. Have you ever desco dived? I think I'm pronouncing that right.
I don't know what desco dived is. Apologies. If Kathy,
definitely don't. So
I mean, when I saw the word, I thought about deco, going into decompression. But I'm happy to stand by for a little bit of clarity on there.
All right, Kathy, if you can explain what you mean or what desco is, that would be helpful. Real quickly on
Mr. Newbie. Oh,
remember
my God.
him?
Thank you, Uncle Phil. You saw me. I paused and I was gonna give a shout out to. I was like, "Oh, Mr. Booth," and I was like, "No, I don't know." Yeah.
You all in work at me.
You had to be there.
One teacher from probably Cedar Bridge, and before that, I can't remember many. I mean, I don't know. You all are good at remembering this stuff. But real quickly, before we lionfish, we've spoken about lionfish, not in depth, but it's been said they're a threat, and they have these different events to get people to catch them. Living in South Florida, they have the same problem, and I see things over here a lot. And so it wasn't just a Bermudian thing, but speak to us about how why lionfish are dangerous to the environment and what's being done. Is it successful? What's being done to curb this?
Real quick, shout out to the Bermuda Lionfish Task Force and the leadership there. Shout out to all the ocean advocates, divers, avid callers, caller vendors, all of the entities and institutions that are in this space. Like I said earlier, I don't catch the most, I don't dive the deepest, I don't hold my breath the longest, but I've taken a big leap of faith to put myself out there to try to be an advocate for ocean protection and advocacy. And calling lionfish is a big deal. They are an invasive species. They are a fish like any other fish. They do have scales, but eyes and gills and fins and whatnot to help them move about like any other fish. But what they have that most fish don't have are 18 venomous spines. You cut the spines off and you're good to go. But this fish, this invasive species, this alien invasive species, is in our waters. They're in shallow water. They're in deep water. And they eat anything and everything they can fit into the mouth. So not just other little fish, but invertebrates like baby crab, baby shrimp, baby octopus, baby trumpet fish, baby wrasse, baby parrotfish. So we're still actively doing the science on what effects these things have on our reef. But it goes without saying that if you've got this prolific invader that reproduces at an alarming rate, that eats anything it can pretty much swallow, that will have adverse effects on the reef. So around here, we eat them to beat them. The Bermuda Lionfish Task Force helps to organize and coordinate up to 4 culling events per year. And shout out to Stuart Joblin, who chairs a subcommittee on these events. I think he just jumped on the radio at 15 past the hour to talk about some stuff. But there is a spring event that's hopefully going to happen here soon. So Making Waves has become sort of the epicenter to kind of the who, what, when, where, why, and how of local events, which is fantastic. I've hosted events myself as well. But what I've done as of late is taken my efforts on a more regional scale. So I've hosted events in Jamaica. We did an event in December in Jamaica. And next month, we're hoping to have something happen in Curacao. But they're on lockdown right now. So we're going to see how that goes. But a re-up in Jamaica and an event in Curacao to help raise awareness about the lionfish invasion. They do taste great. They're easy to catch. Easiest fish to spur fish in the world because they kind of just sit there most of the time. But once you spear it, get your permit, take the class, get your permit, get your flag and your tag from Jade and the gang that does the classes. It's a $20 fee. And shout out to Dr. Joe Pitt at DENR that helps sort of facilitate and manage all this stuff because it is a lot of hard work. But to your viewership out there, lionfish, they do have scales. They are edible. They're high in good fatty acids, the omega-3s and 6s. And once you take the sides off, if you're into just taking the sides off, do that or bake it whole, and you're pretty much good to go. I hope I answered your question.
Eat them. No, I'm stuck on eat them to beat them. I actually like that. Eat them to beat them. Like I
like that.
Yeah, all through this, I'm listening. I'm like,
I like the fact that he knew the nutritional value. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I tried. They're good eatings, and it's not fishy. I took some filet to my grandma's house in the early days, and I'm cooking it up for Granny. Shout out to Grandma. And she's like, "Wow, it's not fishy. It's not a fishy fish. We don't have the flies coming to the screen, And I just pan fried the fillet like about 2.5 minutes on each side, salt, pepper, paprika, and we were good to go. Again, we could have an entire conversation,
boy.
Yeah. I mean, Hey, Dr. Perman, shout out to you.
But I gotta let you go, right? But just one quick.
Oh man,
one more. We're on time limits here. I'll share. Janelle Lugo says, with the BOPP and the consultancy program, what is the difference between what is being done now and the Blue Halo project? Can you answer that in 30 seconds or less?
I can. Shout out to everyone that did work with the Bermuda Blue Halo project. In a nutshell, the difference is that the Bermuda Ocean Prosperity Program is Bermudian led. It's Bermudian crafted. We were figuring it out on the fly, on the ground by Bermudians, whereas the Blue Halo was not quite crafted that way. So I'm proud to be a part of the program, and there's a lot of information on our website and on Instagram and across social. So check us out. We're doing some good work out there.
All right. Weldon, soon as we're done with this show, we're actually going to be rescheduling you to come back on because we have a lot more to discuss.
Yeah, we need to niche it down. We need to niche it down.
Seriously, we can spend a whole topic on Ocean Prosperity Program. We can spend just on the blue economy. So let's work out a schedule that whatever works with you, and we'll go from there. But it's been a pleasure, man. Like seriously, it's been great having you. And enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate what you're doing, and just clean that ocean up so I can feel safe getting in it. Thanks.
He ain't getting in it, Weldon, but keep cleaning it anyway.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Just jump in, put your eyes under. But yeah, again, shout out to your viewership. Thank you for the opportunity, you guys. I'm happy to jump back onto the daily hour. I'm here. This is what I do, and I love what I do. Shout out to Monica, Jody, Carl. Wow, this is cool.
They're all in there.
I love his shout outs.
Yeah.
Gotta run. Have a good one. Talk soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You know, Carla's trying to get out of her most embarrassing moment of the day, usually.
Never.
Don't go anywhere. At Bermuda Communications Group Limited, we love to help businesses and organizations of all sizes across various industries. Find out how we've been working with our clients to improve their customer experience and increase their revenue. Send us an email to contact@bermudacommunications.com to see how we can assist you next. All right, welcome back to the big show. It's the Daily Hour. She's Carla Zul. I'm Jamal Hartman. Thanks again to Lindo's, One Communications, Medical House, everyone who continues to support us. Channel 82. We appreciate you. Yes, we do. Thank you to Weldon Wade. Such an informative conversation. If you enjoyed today's conversation, do what you do. Please smash a like. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell on there so that when we go live, you get notifications. When we put up new content, you get notifications. But thank you. Thanks again to Weldon Wade. Really appreciated that conversation. You all know me and the ocean don't have a great relationship. We're okay, but we don't have a great one. It's time for the Daily Play. Today, Carla is guessing the lyrics to a song. So help her out. It's just not going to be as easy as last week. Carla, are you ready?
You said it was easy when we started.
It's easy, but I don't think you're going to get this one. It's not as easy.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Here are the lyrics, folks. Help her out. Here are the lyrics to this week's Daily Play song. Quote, "You know I sit around with my head hanging down." End quote.
Oh, and I wonder, loving you.
You know what? This on fire.
Don't play me, brother. Don't play me.
This on fire, folks.
Ask me what's the name of the song.
You said
Who's Loving You from En Vogue.
You really said En Vogue. You really said En Vogue.
It is En Vogue. The three girls. My first
Carla. Everyone who
Michael Jackson, the original one.
Live. Like, see, I gave you all this props for start singing a song, and y'all gonna get it wrong?
Because En Vogue sang the remix, but yes, original Michael Jackson.
Sang a little remake, and I enjoyed it. But
listen, thank you.
Vogue first over Jackson 5. How disrespectful.
Yes, because remember, that was my generation. That's the music I grew up bumping to. But yes.
Woohoo! Me and Jackson 5 first. Anyway, what you got for inspiration, old lady?
I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be. I'm surprised you got that one 2 weeks in a row. You're on fire.
Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Henry Ford.
All right, I like that one. What's your thoughts on today's episode?
Awesome. It's so many things I want to do when I come home. I think I want to jump in the water. I want to learn how to dive. That's a start.
Well, I'm gonna beat you in
shout out to Weldon.
I'll beat you in basketball, but I'm not even. I'll give you the victory in diving. I'm just not there yet, player.
Oh, and it's Johnny's birthday today. Happy birthday to my son. He turns 15 today.
Happy birthday of Johnny. 15. Boy, I remember, man. They grow, man.
How many days about?
Yeah, young. They don't stay small forever. Carla, so this is our final show of the week. She doesn't do well with these long stretches off, folks. She misses me. You should see the way she texts me. Oh, I can't wait to see you. Like it's bad. It's bad. Like I almost counseling for it last time. But we are going to take a break. We will be back on Monday. That said, please follow our social media content. Carla doesn't even know, but we're going to be sharing some stuff over the next 4 days. So make sure that you follow us on all our social media so that you can stay up to date with what's going on in Bermuda and the Daily Hour family over the weekend. So any final words you want to tell them, Carla?
Have a great holiday, everyone. Please comply with measures that's going to keep you healthy. Have a great holiday and spend some time with family. Jamal, have a great holiday as well.
Thank you. I thought I was including everyone. You have a great one too, Carla, and make sure Johnny celebrates his birthday like it only happens one time a year. Oh, yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Really wishing everybody a safe holiday. Just be respectful of others. Comply if you don't want to face the consequences. And make it a good one. Don't eat as much as I'm planning on eating because it's just not healthy. But thanks again to our partners, Medical House One Communications, Linda's, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, Good Friday, fish kicks, marbles, kites, whatever we choose to do, we will be back to do this again with you
on Monday.
So don't come looking for us tomorrow, next Monday. Carla Zool, I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, have the best holiday ever. Peace.